Thank you. And I am very honored to meet women leaders from 40 different countries get together. You know, this is about the time most of the women run out from the conference place because they have to go cook for dinner for the family. Now we are successful leaders. We don't have to do that, aren't we? On this booklet, it says, peace begins in the home. Not only that, conflict begins in the home as well. Don't you agree? Yes. You are to decide what role you would take, peace creator or conflict creator. That's up to you. You are the leaders. I would like to read what I have written, and when time comes up, I will stop there. Okay, there is no one who is not involved in family, because nobody could be born without their parents, and the women as at the heart of the family which parents and the children form. As a minimum social unit, families play an important role in cultivating values that the society considers significant. Accordingly, I believe the healthy society and the country would depend on values that family members live with. The value of a family is really important if we think that the country could properly exist only when families function properly. In addition, when we think of women's responsibilities and roles in families and the society, the values and roles of women are getting more significant. A rapidly changing society could be stabilized when the members of the society adapt smoothly. In order to adapt the change, people should reform the consciousness, modify their sense of values, and create a new lifestyle. In the agrarian society, a family was the smaller unit of the society and the place of production. When men acquired the food ingredients through hunting or farming, women processed them to prepare various forms of foods in order to store and supply them for their family, and also took care of clothing and housing by weaving and sewing. Families do not only have production and market functions for the modern society, but also play the roles of education, welfare, and finance, and the individual functions of the whole family have led to the role in determining the rise and the fall of one family. Therefore, the knowledge and behaviors of the family members would determine whether it is a family that you should watch and learn from or not. So in Korean, the proverb, we say, when you try to understand a person, look into the family she belongs to. That way you can identify that person. So family is a real ground for education and the personality building. Women are facing more changes. As the society becomes industrialized, mass production and mass consumption have taken the women's role of processing and the production at home to factories and markets, and shifted the family's function of education to teach children. Globally, generally in Korea, when a woman is approaching 35 to 40 years old, her youngest child will be admitted to elementary school. then how will she spend more than 60 years to live an average lifespan of 100 years or older in the 2020s in Korea? In Korea, as women's lifespans become longer than men's, and the number of children of a family was reduced from 6 or 7 to 2 or 1, the child rearing period has shortened. In the case of education opportunities for Korean women, as the number of children of a family decreased and the income level increased, she shared the burden with the husband, and her role in the family is changing even faster. Through such changes, our level of awareness has reached the global level thanks to the influence of higher education of women. However, we are still seeing a lot of unhappiness and difficult realities ahead of us. Since Korean women who were educated well, thanks to increasing education opportunities, are not given the role of social contribution and cannot show proper women's leadership, the resultant side effect has led to social problems, causing social disorders such as the women's winds of the skirts. You know, women, the Korean dress is long and fluffy, so women becomes active. The skirt wind changes the society. So the women winds of skirts, referring to mothers' excessive parenting, or real estate speculation. Women becomes informative, and they start making sort of a fund among the families. 10 to 20 women members among friends, they collect a certain amount of money every month, and that accumulated to quite some of money. Then they invest that money into the ground, the land or housing, and that is really shifting the real estate market. So that's what we call negatively skirt wind is really causing problem. Distinguished readers, now the world is in a serious situation due to identity conflicts. Despite the concentrated effort of the UN and the world to resolve conflicts between religions and the conflicts of interests and ideologies among countries, regional conflicts have yet to be terminated. And economic inequality is deepening more day by day, unlike expectations. Countries aid to less developed countries has fallen into a trap that weakens the self-reliance of the beneficiaries, degenerating into brutal, violent groups such as the IS, with the diverse and complex interests of politics, economic, religious, and the society. Disputes caused by religious fundamentalism are fundamentally threatening the world peace. Looking at such reality, I think our approach to peace has been superficial so far, and we need an approach at a whole new level. I believe that we have to seek solutions that regard human dignity as the primary value in order to realize the world peace, guaranteeing freedom and human rights. Simply, the empowerment of women, half of the world population, is not ultimately to fight against men. I think we should create a world where the principle and the value of human dignity are shared rather than the confrontation of the sex. Traditionally, Korea has a large family culture where children learn the virtue of devoted love via various relationships. The norms of relationships learned with such family forms are extending to wider society beyond the extended family. Unfortunately, as the traditional large family culture disappears, it is not uncommon that regard of the family as an old-fashioned system has become common under industrialization and modernization that have brought remarkable economic development to Korea. What's more, the high level of moral values that Korean believes as the most precious value based on the spirit of 홍익 인간, it has been widely said. 홍익 means widely benefiting others by a human being. That means 홍익 인간 we have been speaking through this conference. So this 홍익 인간, the 홍익 인간 is the identity of Korean, is not properly taught to young people, which in turn becomes a serious problem, weakening the identity and jeopardizing the future of the society. Confucius said that families should be a basis to establish a well-ordered country. Recently, the Korean society is experiencing a series of scandals regarding moral corruption in the public spheres. This results from the failure of moral and character education at home. Distinguished leaders, diversity would be respected and inequality would be resolved if parents inculcated the dignity of human beings in their children within families, and we endeavored to realize a society expanded from such families. This society would never be guaranteed by institutions and power only. If the value that respects others is educated via parents' right sense of value at home, a child would grow to become a good man or woman who cultivates the mature sense of citizenship to work for the world and live altruistically. The large family culture in the Korean society is a very beautiful culture. The traditional image of a devoted mother presents a noble maternal love that sought to sacrifice herself for her family and leads to the meaning of a true family as the past, present, and future generations are connected via blood and heritage within families. In such a culture, children will learn their identity and the cultural tradition in a respectful and loving environment in the large family culture. Marriage is not just a matter of two people. It is to continue the lineage of two families with interactions to help each other. We learn etiquette and form our attitudes toward the life through interpersonal relationships. Above all, the large family culture also provides a venue where we prepare for mutual exchanges with the humanity across the world. Honorable women leaders, I'm confident that the spreading of the culture of consideration and inclusion based on the maternal instinct instincts, the essential property of women, which will be a source of power for peace. I think the slogan of the Global Peace Women is right for a moral and innovative leadership for social transformation, urgently demanded by this age. Since, based on maternal love, only women have, the slogan seeks to take an approach focusing on the value of 홍익 인간, aiming to benefit the world widely in order to establish a moral society which realizes freedom and human rights based on human dignity, calls on the change of wrong values that have created the unequal society, and encourages families to start such a change. I wish such a peaceful world which humanity is dreaming of could be realized via today's meaningful event. And as a woman, I would like to invite all women to participate in this movement actively. Thank you.